It's December. That means Christmas is around the corner, which, for those who celebrate it, it means presents, decorations, and several other traditions. One of the things I like doing in December is watching Christmas movies and Christmas TV specials. To me, nothing says Christmas like marathoning a bunch of Christmas movies, especially animated ones, which I feel are the best kind. So in that spirit, this is a list of the 10 animated movies and specials to help you get in the Christmas spirit. And even if you don't celebrate Christmas or like the holiday, if you're an animation fan, you should still check out these specials and movies. This isn't a top 10 list though. This is just a list of animations that I enjoy watching around the holidays, and I hope others will also enjoy watching. If a movie or special isn't on this list that you think should be, that's fine. Let me know in the comments below, and maybe I'll add them to the list next year, as I hope for this to become a yearly thing. Also, warning, because of the nature of this list, it will contain spoilers. Now, without further ado, and in no particular order, let's get to it. American Dad, Season 6, Episode 9, Rapture's Delight. American Dad has several great Christmas episodes, but this is my favorite one. The episode starts pretty normally, with the Smith family going to Christmas mass and Stan almost treats himself.
Oh my
To get him in a better
God.
mood, Francie takes Stan to the closet to give him his final Christmas present. Wink wink. When they come out of the closet, the church is empty, and they find that all the good people on Earth have been raptured, and only the wicked people have been left behind. Stan blames Francine for not getting raptured, and they break up. The episode then moves 7 years into the future, where the world has become this post-apocalyptic place full of demons. The rest of the episode is Stan teaming up with Jesus to rescue Francine from the Antichrist. The episode is just hilarious and awesome, and something you wouldn't expect from a typical Christmas episode. But it is a Christmas episode, so it does manage to sneak in a good message of appreciating our loved ones and the lives we have with them.
9.
Tokyo Godfathers. In this anime, 3 homeless people find an abandoned baby on Christmas Eve, and not wanting the baby to end up in foster care or homeless like them, they decide to find its parents. So they end up traveling all over Tokyo, following clues trying to find its parents, and end up in several crazy situations, while also confronting their past and what led them to living on the street. This movie is funny, sad, intriguing, and has some surprising cool action scenes. I was on the edge of my seat towards the finale of the movie and their final big scene. This is just a great movie, and I was moved by how these people who have almost nothing and are treated pretty bad by most people would be willing to take on this near impossible task to help this baby. I mean, that's what Christmas is about, right? Helping and giving to others. And it doesn't matter if you could give much, just some kindness towards another person is enough. If you haven't watched this movie before, go and check it out. You won't be disappointed.
8.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. When I think Christmas classics, this is one of the first specials that pops into my head. I'm sure most people are familiar with the story, but if not, the special is a stop-motion animated movie of a reindeer named Rudolph, born with a red glowing nose. The special pretty much tells the story of Rudolph being a misfit and not fitting in, and beating other outcasts, and finally being accepted and loved for his uniqueness. This really is a great special, from the unique characters to the great message of acceptance. Christmas should be a time of love and accepting people, even if they are different from us. The special has been shown on TV for over 50 years, and if it can't get you in the Christmas spirit, then you need a 3-ghost intervention like Scrooge.
7.
Jack Frost. Another stop-motion animated movie. This is made by Rankin Bass Productions, the same company that made the Rudolph special. The special tells the story of Jack Frost, a winter sprite who falls in love with a human girl named Elisa. Jack makes a deal with Father Winter that if he can succeed as a human, which is getting a house and other humanly things, by spring, he'll be allowed to live as a human and be with the woman he loves. Jack eventually has to give up his humanity to save Elisa, and by the time he's able to get back to her, she is already falling in love with someone else, and Jack has to be content with seeing her happy. I really enjoy this special, and to me the message is that sometimes you have to sacrifice your happiness for someone else, and that's okay, which I think is a great message for Christmas time.
6,
Santa's Apprentice and its sequel, The Magic Snowflake. Okay, I'm cheating on this one, but I feel the two films go together, as they are a continuation of each other. The movies are based off an animated TV series called Santa Apprentice. The first movie is about an orphan boy named Nicholas being chosen to become Santa's apprentice and one day becoming the new Santa Claus. It's pretty much his journey of learning to become Santa Claus, which is pretty enjoyable. What I like most about this movie is that Santa Claus straight up takes this kid, and the orphanage contacts the cops and everything to try to find him, which I think is really hilarious. In the second movie, The Magic Snowflake, Nicholas becomes the next Santa Claus, even though he's still just a little kid. Now having all this responsibility put on him, he contracts a disease called grown-up Elias, which is pretty much turning him into a mean, boring adult. So Nicholas has to go through this journey to discover his childlike wonder and imagination and the meaning of Christmas, which is making kids happy. The Magic Snowflake is my favorite out of the two, as I think it's the better film, but both movies are great Christmas movies that are fun to watch and capture the fun magic of Christmas.
5,
The Nightmare Before Christmas. If you watch my Halloween animation list, then you knew this one was coming. The Nightmare Before Christmas I feel is both a great Halloween movie and Christmas movie, as it captures the feeling of both holidays. In the movie, Jack the Pumpkin King gets tired of Halloween, and when he accidentally stumbles into Christmas Town, he decides that he will become responsible for Christmas that year. The movie is fun. It gives us an idea of what a gothic Christmas would be like. It's also a good story of trying to understand the Christmas spirit and trying to duplicate that feeling. In the end, the characters can't duplicate the feeling because they don't really understand it, since they never really experienced it. Which to me is kind of the message. You can't really explain the joy and the spirit of Christmas. It's something you need to experience to understand.
4,
How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Another Christmas classic, this TV special based off the Dr. Seuss book, directed by the late great Chuck Jones, is about a being named the Grinch who hates Christmas and decides that he has had enough of it, so he goes down to Whoville dressed up as Santa Claus to steal Christmas, which is pretty much taking all the Christmas decorations, presents, and food. Christmas morning, after stealing everything, the Grinch listens for the town people's cries, but he hears them happily singing Christmas carols. Hearing that, he comes to understand that the spirit of Christmas does not depend on material things, and he starts to understand the true meaning of Christmas. Then his heart grows 3 sizes big, and he returns all the stuff and celebrates happily with the town. I loved this special when I was younger, and I still do, and the message is just spot on. Christmas isn't about gifts or decorations, it's about so much more. Giving to those in need, spending time with the ones you love, peace on earth and goodwill to all men, and this special does a good job of showing that.
3,
Ah My Goddess, Flights of Fancy, Episode 3, I Offer These Feelings on Christmas Eve. In this episode of the second season, Keiichi, realizing that Belldandy has been with him for about a year, decides to buy her a ring for Christmas. The only problem is that he doesn't have any money, so he decides to take on various jobs to pay for it. When he finally goes to buy the ring, he finds that someone else has already bought it, so he has to try to earn the ring. He's eventually able to get it and gives it to an extremely happy Belldandy. It's a very simple episode, but I feel it works really well in evoking this feeling of love. Keiichi really wants to get an amazing gift for Belldandy, but he just doesn't have the money. So he works really hard and suffers so he's able to get the gift. But the gift isn't the important thing. It's the fact that he cares enough for her to go through all this hardship. If there was ever a time to work hard for those you love, it would have to be around Christmas.
2,
Invader Zim, the most horrible Xmas ever. In this Invader Zim episode, Zim learns about Santa Claus and how much people love him, so he decides to create a Santa suit to trick people into thinking he is Santa Claus and uses their love to control them and take over the world. Of course, his horrible plan works, and he gets the people of the world to obey him, and he helps them build a teleporter to send them to their doom. However, Dib, being one of the only people to know what Zim is up to, tries to stop him, but he keeps failing. At the same time, the Santa suit is malfunctioning and slowly taking control of Zim, making him become the real Santa Claus. At the end, Dib, in a giant robot, battles the Santa suit, which has completely taken over Zim and transformed him into a giant spider-like monster. Dib is able to beat it and launch it into space, but Zim tricks the people into thinking that Dib killed Santa Claus, and they beat him up. I love this episode. It has all the crazy, funny weirdness of Invader Zim, and while it doesn't have any particular Christmas message, it's just a fun episode set around Christmas that will hopefully put a smile on your face.
1.
The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus. This animated movie is based off a novel with the same name. There are a few animated versions of the novel, but I'm most familiar with the 2000 version by the Mike Young Productions. The movie is pretty much the origin of Santa Claus. Like the title says, the movie chronicles the life and adventures of Santa Claus from being found as a baby and raised by a lion, and then later immortal beings like a wood nymph, to him growing older and finding his purpose in the world by bringing children happiness, and finally becoming an immortal himself so he can continue bringing joy to the children of the world. It's a pretty interesting origin story for Santa Claus, and really enjoyable. It's not perfect, but there are a lot of great ideas, and the movie is entertaining. But out of all the origin stories that I've seen for Santa Claus, which really isn't many, I like this story the most. Now, if we could just get an animated origin for Krampus. And that's it. 10 animations that will hopefully put you in the Christmas spirit. Like I said, it's not a top 10 list, so the order doesn't really matter. And if there's an animation that you feel should be on the list, let me know in the comments below. Alright, have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and all that junk. And see you on the next one.